Investiture of the Gods, Chapter 22.
Wen Wang. He spent 7 years locked up in Yuli unjustly by King Zhu. Finally, he gets released. You'd think, okay, relief, maybe a quiet trip back.
You would think so, wouldn't you?
But no. He's barely out the door, metaphorically speaking, and his enemies are already chasing him down. They really don't want him back in Shiki. But then, like you said, the unexpected happens. A hero pops up. And it's Wen Wang's own son. His 100th son, Lei Zhenzi.
Right, the 100th son. And his origins, as the text described them, are, well, there's something else.
Definitely not your average backstory. He wasn't born in the usual way, found in Yanjian, apparently, after thunder split a rock.
Yeah.
And adopted by Wen Wang himself.
Exactly. And then he spends 7 years training under this immortal figure, Jichang.
Learning these profound and subtle techniques, it sounds like more than just fighting skills.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking deep spiritual stuff, maybe Taoist practices. The sources say he gained eternal life, immortality, or at least extraordinary longevity, and these amazing wings with wind and thunder.
Wings, that grew right out of him. Wow.
Yeah. And his appearance is described as, really striking. Eyes like golden light flashing lightning, face like blue indigo, red hair.
In a big golden staff. Definitely makes an impression.
Yeah.
Not someone you'd want to argue with.
And that's key. Because when he shows up, it's not just about fighting. He's there to make a statement. He confronts the two generals chasing his father Yinpoba and Lei Kai. But first, he defends Wen Wang, calls him a virtuous husband, a loyal minister, a filial son, basically says, "My dad is a good man who was locked up for no reason."
So it's a moral stand first.
Precisely. He's framing this whole thing as upholding justice, fulfilling his master's orders to get his father home safely. He even warns them first, mentioning his master told him not to harm mortal beings. It shows there's a code here, a higher purpose.
But the generals, I assume, aren't just going to back down because he says so, even if he looks terrifying.
Not immediately. So Lei Zhenzi decides a little demonstration is in order, and this is where it gets really dramatic in the sources.
Okay, heavy.
He flies up wind, thunder, the whole show spots a mountain peak, and basically says, watch this. Swings that golden staff and smashes half a mountain peak, just like that. Huge noise, rocks flying everywhere.
Whoa, okay.
Then he comes back down and asks the generals, very calmly, are your heads as solid as that mountain?
Huh. Yeah, I think that would probably do it. Message received.
You bet. The generals, realizing they're completely outmatched by something, well, almost divine, they turn tail and head back to Choj fast. And this moment, it really speaks volumes in these kinds of texts. It's like when the cause is righteous, heaven itself steps in with overwhelming power.
So it's not just might makes right, it's like divine might proves right.
In a way, yes. It validates Wen Wang's destiny. Resisting him starts to look like resisting heaven's will. It's a powerful message. His path home is being cleared by forces beyond human power.
Okay, so the immediate chase is off. But Wen Wang still needs to get past the 5 passes. These sound like serious checkpoints.
They are. Strategic gates, heavily guarded.
And Wen Wang's first reaction to his son, the winged Thunderbringer.
The texts say scared stiff, which, is understandable.
Totally. And despite his son being able to presumably flatten any guards, Wen Wang's first thought is paperwork.
Pretty much. He wants to use the official copper tallies and command arrows to get through. He's still thinking like a ruler following procedure. Order matters to him.
Even when your son can fly you over the walls.
Right. But Lei Zhenzi sees the danger in delay. He says time is critical. He worries more soldiers might come. Going through official channels is too slow, too risky.
That makes sense.
So he proposes the direct route. Dad, I'll just carry you. We'll fly over.
Cutting through the red tape, literally.
Exactly. It highlights that tension, right, between human systems and, divine shortcuts when survival is on the line.
And there's this really touching moment here, isn't there, about his horse?
Yes. Wen Wang is really reluctant to leave his horse behind. This animal had been with him through the whole 7 years in prison.
Wow, that's a bond.
A deep one. The sources say he actually tears up, saying goodbye, telling the horse to seek another good master. It's just a very human moment amidst all the magic, shows his compassion.
It really does.
Yeah.
But Lei Zhenzi keeps things focused.
He does. He gives some pragmatic advice. Quote, "A gentleman forsakes the small to preserve the great." It sounds harsh, maybe, but it's about priorities. Wen Wang's return is crucial for his kingdom, for the greater good. Sometimes leadership means making painful personal sacrifices.
The tough calls. So Wen Wang agrees.
He does. And then comes the flight. Lei Zhenzi picks him up.
Must have been terrifying. Closing his eyes tight, I bet.
The text mentions him closing his eyes, just hearing the wind rush past, and then, poof, they're flown over all 5 passes. In less than a moment, it says, they land at Jinjiling, Golden Rooster Ridge, safe.
That is just incredible speed. It's supernatural Uber, basically.
Pretty much, and underscores the urgency in Lei Zhenzi's power.
But then Lei Zhenzi leaves, just like that.
Right. His mission, get Dad past the immediate danger zone, is done. She has to go back to his master, back to his training. He promises he'll be back later once he's mastered his full Taoist techniques, these deeper spiritual arts.
So it's a quick reunion. A rescue, then goodbye.
A bit bittersweet, yeah. It emphasizes that everyone, even miracle workers, has duties and paths they have to follow. It's all part of some larger plan.
So now Wenwang is safe, past the passes, but he's alone. Again. No son, no horse, just him, the West Earl, walking. An old man, tired, trying to get home.
It's a striking image, isn't it? This powerful, revered leader, reduced to walking, penniless.
Absolutely. And the sources say he reaches an end, but he has no funds, can't pay for a room or food.
Right, a moment of real humility. And the innkeeper's assistant initially gets quite annoyed.
Understandable, I guess. But then the assistant starts bragging about Shiki.
He does. He describes how amazing Shiki is under the West Earl. People make way for travelers, no lost items, no barking dogs at night, all because of the Earl's benevolence and righteousness.
Oh, the irony. He's lecturing Wenwang about how great Wenwang's territory is.
Exactly. It's a fantastic detail because it shows Wenwang's reputation precedes him, even when he's unrecognizable and broke. It proves his rule genuinely has created this virtuous society.
So the innkeeper himself shows up then?
Yes, Shenji. And he recognizes Wenwang immediately, not by clothes or anything, but by his uncommon spirit and appearance.
That leader quality, shining through.
You could say that. Shenji is instantly full of reverence, apologizes profusely for the assistant's rudeness, offers food, lodging.
And a ride.
And even a donkey for the rest of the journey. A humble ride, but a ride nonetheless. It shows the deep respect people had for him, even sight unseen almost.
So off he goes on the donkey, passing Shouyang Mountain.
And the sources pause here, describing the scenery. It's deep autumn. You get this imagery, golden wind, falling leaves, sad birds, crickets chirping.
Sounds a bit melancholy.
It really does. It reflects his mood, that longing for home after 7 years away. It's a classic technique, nature mirroring his inner feelings, making the journey feel emotional, not just physical.
Meanwhile, back in Shiki, in the palace, his mother, Tai Yang, senses something.
She does. There's the sudden event. 3 gusts of wind blow through with a roaring sound.
Not just a draft, then. A sign.
Definitely presented as a sign. Something significant is happening related to her son.
And she doesn't just wait. She does something.
She performs an innate calculation using golden coins. It's a form of divination, like consulting the I Ching, maybe.
Wow. To find out what?
To find out Wenwang's exact arrival time. It connects her motherly intuition with these ancient ways of knowing, suggesting this deep, almost mystical family connection.
Like she's tuned in somehow.
Exactly. It reinforces that Wenwang's return isn't just happening to him, it's part of this larger cosmic spiritual tapestry.
And does her calculation prove right? Is there a big welcome?
Oh, yes. The sources describe a huge, joyous reception. Tai Jiang, knowing he's coming, orders everything prepared. Officials, princes, all in their best grand red robes. And the ordinary citizens. Thousands of them line the roads.
What do they bring?
They bring sheep and wine, traditional offerings. They're burning incense. It's a massive outpouring of love and relief. Their ruler is finally home.
After everything, that must have been incredible to see.
Absolutely. It's described as a reunion of flesh and blood, that family joy, but also as the dragon and tiger meeting again.
What does that mean, dragon and tiger?
Dragon often represents the emperor or a top ruler like Wenwang in his sphere. Tiger can be a powerful minister. Or maybe here it represents the restored strength and wisdom of the leadership. So it's not just personal, it's about the restoration of order, stability, hope for the whole kingdom. It really shows that bond between a good ruler and his people. Destiny fulfilled. Wenwang arrives at Shiki Mountain. After 7 years, you'd expect, sheer relief, pure joy.
You would. But the text immediately throws us a curveball. It says his heart is filled with
despair.
Yeah.
Wow. Even seeing his homeland again. Why such deep sorrow at that moment?
Well, I think it speaks volumes about the scars, doesn't it? Imprisonment wasn't just political, it was deeply traumatic. That kind of pain doesn't just vanish.
Makes sense.
And the scene greeting him is Quite something. You've got General Nangong Shi, Grandmaster San Yisheng.
The whole court, basically.
The whole loyal court, the 4 sages, 8 talents, 36 heroes. It's a real show of strength. And then his second son, Ji Fa, bows down, apologizing for not, being there, for not sharing the suffering.
That must have been intense. So when Wang sees all this loyalty, his son, how does he react?
He breaks down, tears flowing. The text says he feels like he had no home, but now he has one. No country, but now he has one. No ministers, no son, but now he does.
That's incredibly moving, having everything back. But still, that despair, that 10 underneath, how do those coexist?
That's the paradox, isn't it? Liberation doesn't mean instant healing. But even in this emotional flood, the political gears are turning. San Yisheng is there.
San Yisheng, always the strategist.
Always. He makes this really shrewd comment. He compares Wen Wang's imprisonment to King Cheng Tang's way back.
The founder of the Shang dynasty, right, who was also in prison.
Exactly. Cheng Tang was held at Shatai, then came back and, changed everything. San Yisheng isn't just reminiscing. He's basically saying, this could be you. This suffering could be the prelude to greatness, maybe even a new dynasty.
Okay, so he's planting a seed there, hinting at rebellion, or at least destiny. How does Wen Wang take that? This must be tempting.
You'd think. But nope, he shuts it down strongly. He calls it disloyal talk.
Really? After 7 years under Ping Zhou?
Yes. And his reasoning is fascinating. He frames his survival not as luck or resilience, but as Sifi.
The emperor's vast grace for imprisoning him.
For sparing his life, yes. It's a stunning statement. He's positioning himself as utterly loyal, indebted even. Remember, King Zhu had also given him the title Wen Wang, the ceremonial acts, the banner, the authority to conquer.
So he feels obligated to repay that even though the grace involved imprisonment?
It seems so, or at least that's the public stance. It's deeply rooted in the idea of the mandate of heaven, the emperor's supreme position. To challenge that, even against a tyrant, well, that's a huge step.
This raises such a fundamental question about loyalty, doesn't it? When does loyalty become complicity? Is it always absolute?
That's the million-dollar question this story forces us to ask. Wen Wang's choice here is complex. It can be seen as profound principle, or maybe, incredibly shrewd politics, avoiding immediate conflict, consolidating his power first, or maybe both.
While he's grappling with this, what about the ordinary people of Shiki? How are they reacting?
Oh, they're ecstatic. Pure joy. Huge crowds. Music, incense, decorations everywhere.
A hero's welcome.
Absolutely. They're shouting, "Oh, today Sheik has a master." They see him back, and it means stability, leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And Wen Wang, he gets this. He switches to a slower horse, a Che, so everyone can get a good look at his heavenly face. He's connecting with them, letting them share in this moment.
It's quite the performance in a way, balancing that public joy, the careful diplomacy towards King Zhu, and that deep hidden sorrow.
Precisely. A masterclass in leadership under pressure.
But amidst all the celebration, looking at his court, his sons, there must have been a shadow, a missing face.
You're right. That's the trigger for the private grief to overwhelm the public facade. He looks around, sees 98 of his sons, but not the eldest, not Boyikao.
And Boyikao's fate. The sources are horrifyingly specific, aren't they?
They are. It's the absolute core of his despair. The text makes it explicit. He remembers King Zhu having Boyikao.
Minced into a paste.
Yes. And then, the truly monstrous part. While Wen Wang was imprisoned in Yuli, King Zhu forced him
to eat his own son's flesh. I can't even imagine.
It's unthinkable psychological torture. And that memory, that act, is festering inside him, even as the crowds cheer.
How does anyone even process that, let alone continue to lead, to talk about loyalty and peace? The grief must have just erupted.
It does, the moment the absence of Boyikao hits him. And then he sings this song, a lament, pouring out everything: his loyal service, the unjust imprisonment, Boyikao's sacrifice trying to save him, the horror of eating his flesh, his escape, its raw public agony. He collapses, falls right off his horse. His face goes white as paper.
Understandable. Something really strange happens, right? Something almost supernatural.
Exactly. This is Feng Xinyanyi, after all. After they revive him, give him some tea, the text says he vomits 3 lumps of flesh.
Just vomit, like that.
Just like that.
Yeah.
But then the magic happens. These lumps, they don't just lie there. They sprout legs, grow ears.
Yeah.
They transform into 3 rabbits.
Rabbits?
3 white rabbits, and they immediately run off, heading west.
Wow. Okay, what does that mean? It feels incredibly symbolic.
Oh, massively symbolic. It's like his body, his spirit is literally expelling the trauma, the undigestible horror. But it's not just getting rid of it, it's transforming it.
And the rabbit's heading west.
That's key. West is the direction of Jiki, the future Zhou dynasty's heartland. It's a powerful omen. It suggests that even this unimaginable suffering is somehow part of a larger destiny, a divine plan pointing towards the Zhu's rise. It reframes his personal tragedy within a cosmic narrative.
So from horror comes this strange prophetic sign. It's quite a moment after this purging, this sign. And does he talk about how he actually got away? He was being pursued, wasn't he?
He was, by King Zhu's generals, Yin and Lei. He was cornered, basically done for, and his escape story is just as miraculous as the rabbit's.
This involves another character, doesn't it? Someone connected to his past.
Yes, Lei Zhenzi. When Wang explains that years ago he'd adopted an infant found near Swallow Mountain.
Right, I remember that part.
That infant was taken in by a hermit, Yun Zongzi, and raised as Lei Zhenzi. So, an act of kindness from Wen Wang's past literally flies in to save him.
Flies in. Describe Lei Zhenzi's appearance. It's pretty wild from what I recall.
Wild is an understatement. He transforms into this winged giant. Face like blue indigo, hair like bright red vermilion, wings sprouting from his shoulders.
Good grief. Like a guardian demon almost.
Or an angel, depending on your perspective. He's got a golden staff, flies like the wind, smashes a mountain peak just to scare off the generals.
Which probably worked.
You bet it did. They turned tail. Then Lei Zhenzi just picks up Wen Wang, carries him over 5 heavily guarded passes the Huo in less than half an hour. Then poof, he's gone, promising to return later.
Okay, so that's not subtle. Divine intervention is clearly signaling that Wen Wang is marked for something bigger. He's protected.
Absolutely, it screams mandate of heaven shifting.
Meanwhile, back in the political realm, King Zhu hasn't exactly mellowed during Wen Wang's absence, has he?
Not even slightly. San Yisheng gives Wen Wang the grim update. And it's bad. Really bad.
That's the charge sheet.
Oh, it's long. Killing his own wife and son. Inventing horrific tortures, the burning pillar soldiers were forced to climb. And the pit of venomous snakes and scorpions. Minced loyal ministers into paste. That seems to be a theme, sadly. Banished the elders. Listens only to the wicked concubine Daji. Ignores all good advice. Just nonstop debauchery and cruelty.
It sounds like total societal breakdown emanating from the top.
That's exactly San Yisheng's point. He finishes by saying, Hoju, just the capital won't belong to King Zi for much longer. The implication is clear. The dynasty is collapsing under its own tyranny.
And that assessment immediately lights a fire under someone else, right? General Nangongxi.
Instantly. Nangongxi hears this, thinks about Shiki's strength.
400,000 soldiers, 60 generals. That's a serious army.
A very serious army. And Nangongxi says, okay, let's do it. Let's march on Choj now. Depose Zhu. And crucially, avenge Boyikao.
The call for rebellion is finally explicit. Revenge, justice, regime change. It's all on the table. The perfect moment, arguably.
The tension is palpable. You have the moral justification, the military means, the personal grievance.
So after hearing about Zhu's continued atrocities, after being reminded of his son's fate, now does Wen Wang agree? Does he finally say, yes, let's ride?
And again, no, it's extraordinary. He rejects it. He's actually displeased too. He calls their proposal disloyal words.
Still, after everything, what's his reasoning this time? It seems almost superhuman, this restraint.
It really does. He doubles down on his philosophy. The emperor, he says, is the Ugyaya, the head of all nations. He invokes that incredibly strict principle. That's the ideal he's upholding. He even reframes his own imprisonment again, saying it was his own tread, his own fault or error, not King Zhu's. It absolves the sovereign completely, at least outwardly.
It's hard to wrap your head around from a modern perspective, but maybe it was also strategically necessary to avoid provoking Zhu prematurely.
That's certainly a valid interpretation. It buys Ziki time. It maintains a veneer of legitimacy. It keeps the moral high ground, perhaps, in a complex way.
And his view on Boyikao's death, he doesn't just blame King Zhu.
This part adds such a layer of complexity and, frankly, tragedy. He says, yes, Zhu was cruel, but Boyikao's death was also due to his son's own his pride, his stubbornness.
How so?
Because Wen Wang, with his divination skills, had foreseen danger. He specifically told Boyikao not to come to the capital for 7 years. He warned him. But Boyikao, out of filial piety perhaps, or youthful confidence, ignored the warning and went anyway, trying to ransom his father.
Oh, wow. So Wen Wang sees it partly as his son disobeying a direct prophetic warning. That adds a whole different dimension to his grief and his reaction.
It does. It suggests a leader wrestling not just with external tyranny, but with the consequences of fate, wisdom ignored, and maybe even a touch of "I told you so" mingled with unbearable loss.
So if not war, if not revenge, what is Wen Wang's vision for Shiki then? What's the goal he's holding onto so tightly?
He spells it out quite clearly. He wants isi, peace everywhere, an end to war, and people living prosperous, happy, productive lives.
Good governance over military conquests.
Exactly. He talks about transforming customs for the better, making sure there's a great abundance for everyone. He explicitly rejects exhausting the people, wasting resources, ruining lives through conflict. His priority is building a model state, even under the shadow of a tyrant.
It's an incredible testament to, well, to a different kind of strength, isn't it? Prioritizing peace and his people's well-being above personal vengeance, even after suffering so much.
It really defines his legacy, that long-term vision.
Okay, so having rejected the immediate call to arms, what's his next concrete action? He turns to building something, right?
Yes, his focus shifts inward, toward strengthening Ziki's foundations, both practically and spiritually. He proposes building a on.
Spirit platform? Or an observatory? What's that for?
It's essentially an observatory. Yeah. Its purpose is very grand, to observe the heavens, interpret omens, understand the signs of disaster or good fortune. It's about aligning the state with the cosmos, ensuring harmony and preparedness.
A very ancient form of strategic planning, in a way.
You could see it like that. But even with this noble state-building project, his first thought is again for the people. He worries that the construction will burden the common folk.
Consistent, at least. Always thinking of the impact on ordinary people.
Very consistent,
Yeah.
which is where San Yusheng comes in again with another wise solution.
What does he suggest this time? How do you build a major structure without overburdening people, especially when you're trying to be a benevolent ruler?
San Yusheng points out that because the Lingtai is for the people's benefit, understanding omens affects everyone, they won't see it as forced labor. They'll serve gladly.
Ah, voluntary participation.
Exactly. But he goes further. Pay them a small wage. Make it completely voluntary. Juduwa. Let them choose if and how much they contribute. No coercion.
That sounds remarkably modern, almost. Respecting their choice, compensating their labor, even for a public project.
It's certainly a mark of enlightened governance for the time. And Wang loves it. He says this approach, it perfectly matches his own intentions.
It really cements that image of him, doesn't it? The wise, benevolent ruler, focused on harmony, prosperity, and the people's will, even in the details.
Absolutely. It's a powerful endnote to this phase of his return.